Okay, sound check. Sound check, 1, 2, sound check. Hello, Silent. How you doing? Excuse my coughing or scratching or sniffling. Still trying to get over a cold. I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm getting ready to start a new job here in about a week and a half. A little over a week, actually. But focused in on crypto right now. So just want to try to get here and teach people, show people stuff so that they can do this on their own when I'm long dead and gone. So anyway, any questions about Bitcoin? I'm not sure. I don't think you caught the early version. I did a stream earlier. Yeah, 61.8 bounce. Yeah, it has. Yeah. That's exactly right. Sure did. And as you can see on my chart here, I'm not sure if you're familiar with fib clusters or not. If you've been in my channel or you've seen my videos on YouTube, I talk about fib clusters quite a bit. And basically, fib clusters are areas where you can draw a fib from one area to the next and then draw it from another area to the next. And basically what you're looking for is an area where, like right here, where you get an area where multiple things line up, right? So it could be the 61.8, could be the 38.2, but multiple fib numbers line up on each other. And you can see when they get dark like this over here, it just means that that's a very important area. And that's why I made the call that I did on the weekly chart, right? Because I felt that we were right here, just above it, right? We were right here, and back in here we were just above it. But I felt that it needed to push down to it, and then get that springboard effect, because a lot of people were probably right in here waiting, all right? And so springboard effect and then bounce through. Now, I wasn't expecting a straight up shot like this. I'll be honest with you. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting just a straight shot like that. But I was expecting something more along the lines of going more sideways type to up and then break through. But it is what it is. Okay. And right now, where we're at, a lot of people want to know, are we going higher? That's the big question, right? Oh, thanks, Mast. I appreciate it. So a lot of people want to know, are we going higher? And here's what I'll point out. So you got the 233-day moving average in red right here. Okay, we've broken back through that. The 200-day moving average is just above right here, okay, in blue. The upper Bollinger Band is right here, okay. We've got this area right over here with the wick out top at 8,800 to 8,900, maybe 9,000. That is a big area to get through. If it can break through this, there's still one more piece of the puzzle left, okay? And it's this downtrend line. And if I expand out, you'll see it, okay? So before everybody gets all excited and, you know, wants to go full in and FOMO this thing, then this is what we have to watch, right? And I pointed this out earlier. We failed here, we failed here, failed here, failed here. Couldn't quite get to here, but failed again. So now this is where we're at, right? This is the penultimate, right? This is the area. And so if I was to do something like this, let's just do this. I'll just draw it from like the close over here and bring that over. Oh, hang on. So what we're looking for is like an old area of support, right? That is now resistance, okay? And if I can get it to draw, for whatever reason, it's not wanting to, but let me try it again. There we go. All right. So there we go. There's your area to watch on Bitcoin, right? This has been a very impressive move, okay? Very impressive. But when you go back and look at it, all we're doing is testing an old area of what used to be support is now going to be resistance. And it all lines up right here, okay? Get above this and the gloves are off, right? Personally, in my opinion, and we'll see, I may be stepping out, you know, on a limb out there. I know a lot of people are still calling for this to fail and come back down and make new lows. But I'm going to go out there and say that I think this is going to break through. I think it's going to break through this trend line and it's going to get up into here, and that's where the major resistance is going to be. 10,000 to 11,000. I'm not saying it's going to get there tomorrow, right? But I'm saying it's going to, you know, at least get through this. And time frame, I have no clue. I mean, originally my time frame on this part was to slowly go through this and then make its way higher. But it's doing it a lot quicker, so let's see what happens here. This thing could completely fail at this area and turn back down. I don't foresee that, but I could be wrong. Right? So this is an important area to watch, and it's not just on this chart. Let's go to Litecoin. Same thing, right? Same thing on Litecoin. Old support now becomes new resistance. So this area right here on Litecoin at 61 to 62 maybe. Yeah. That area right there is going to be resistance as well. Okay. Good volume today. very good volume. Let's see if it can follow through. That's the question, all right? So the big thing on Bitcoin right now, and the other thing is this, okay? We're getting ready to close this candle pretty soon, probably in the next hour. But this is a reversal pattern, right? You're in a big downtrend, everything's coming down, and all of a sudden you get a doji and a green stick. I mean, shorts are screwed right here. And I'll throw this out there, just because I've done this for 20 years, right? Because shorts are thinking, oh, this is one big green stick, I'm going to short into it. Okay, well, good luck with that, because what could happen is you short into this, and all of a sudden, if this thing holds some support in here around the 233, they may get in for a scalp, but what's going to end up happening is they could get trapped again, and all of a sudden this thing takes off, and it's more fuel for the fire, because what happens when they have to cover? They have to buy. They have to buy. And that adds to the momentum that could happen. This thing could snowball, right? And it could snowball very quickly. So what needs to happen now is for bulls to take advantage of this situation, right? And this is a big situation they could take advantage of, get through this area, and then it's off to the races. And probably, I would say, I'm not going to say by end of the year, but end of the year it could be around 10,000, 11,000, maybe fill the gap, because there is a gap on the futures chart, right? And I'll post that. I'll put it over here. Here's the futures chart. And this chart is now closed, right? There's no trading activity going on whatsoever until Sunday night. So that is a big time reversal pattern, right? Right here. Stopped right around the 50-day moving average, which is a key area to get through. Could possibly come up into here. We'll see how it opens up on Sunday night. But the squeeze indicator is still not giving any signal, right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not think it's going to go to the moon right now. Let's let this thing kind of settle in, and if we start getting some blue, light blue histograms and some blue, you know, let's just let it switch and get over into the green, right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still have the 10, the 20 right in here, which are around 8,300. So you could see some big time volatility in the next week or so. But eventually I think this downtrend line is going to get broken. Okay. That's the other thing I thought about too, and I would preferably not like to see that happen. I would just like to see things go sideways this weekend. In fact, I would almost prefer just a little bit down. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit down from where the CME closed. That way we don't get that open gap on the downside. Because you know it's going to fill, right? But I want to see it go, you know, hit here at resistance, go sideways over the weekend, and just kind of meander around about 84 to 8,600. You know, just do something like that, and just kind of like settle in just a little bit, let everything kind of tighten in, and then all of a sudden build up enough strength that when the futures open, that this slow stochastic down here, by the time Sunday night rolls around, that it might just take off, right? Or Monday. And then we have a gap up here at 11. It's basically 11,800. But don't sit there and think that it's going to get to 11,800 tomorrow. Okay, it's not. So get that thought out of your mind. It's not even going to get there probably by next month. All right, so I'm going to take that out. It's a slow, gradual process, right? We got to chew through resistance. And resistance is there for one thing. It's to kick you back, right? So let's let it just meander a little bit and then break through, and then we'll start to get happy, happy, happy. But the other thing I like is this, okay? And it's not perfect, but I'm just going to throw it out there, right? And I'm sure somebody could probably... I haven't looked at the RSI, but this is a stochastic RSI, right? And so if I was to draw... And I'm going to draw just a ray here. If I can do it. It may not let me. There we go. Well, stupid thing. It's not going to let me. Anyway, so I'll point it out. So you had right here where price is, right? See where the indicator's at? All right, you got lower price, lower indicator. Up here, you had higher price, higher indicator. Now, we get this little dip right here, and we got this indicator. Okay, see where price is? Now, all of a sudden, we get this thing drop off a cliff, price comes up, bounce. We could have a possible bullish divergence. It's not there yet, but it's possible. No, now this thing wants to do that. So we'll see what plays out. But right now, this is what I'm focused on. This candlestick pattern right here. That is a major reversal. And if I was to go over to a weekly chart, and I pointed this out in the earlier session, this is huge. Huge. My fear, and I posted this on, I don't know if I did on Twitter or if it was in my Discord channel, but earlier this week, this looked like a red candle. Okay? Looked like a red candle. It was down, trading down here at the bottom of the wick. And I told everybody in the group, I said, if this thing, and I said, at the time, I said, we still have a long way to go. I said, but bulls better turn this thing around really quick. Because if it was to close down here at support with that candlestick pattern, it was just a matter of time before this thing went lower. And probably test 5,400. Which I did not want to see because that was going to be the end of the bull market, in my opinion. So we got what I wanted. We got the bounce off support, and now we're turning this thing around. Still have to get past all this resistance, but it's a good sign for now, right? We need follow through. Have to have follow through. And this weekly candle is not closed yet, right? That's a bullish weekly candle. That's a hammer pattern, right? That's a hammer candlestick. Long wick, green body, that's a hammer. Hammering out a bottom. Now let's go to the monthly because the monthly closes out next week. What do you see there? You had three, excuse me. You had three red sticks with long wicks out the top. So this is obvious resistance going upwards, right? But we now know where support is. So let the battle begin, right? This could turn into a hammer. So the weekly and the monthly could both turn into hammer sticks. Could. And I'm saying could. I'm not saying it will, and I'm not saying, that's why I'm saying don't FOMO into this right now, because we don't know. This could very easily pull back in, and you could have something like a perfect doji. And then everybody is confused, right? That's what dojis do. That's what doji means. Indecision. So let's just, over the next few days, it's going to get kind of hairy. There's going to be some ups and downs, and, we'll follow it and see. I mean, this thing could, I'm not saying it can't go straight up. I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting what happened today happen, but it did. But I'm just saying, just be careful. It's a whippy kind of volatile market right now. It's bullish. It's on the bullish side. So, if you're wanting to play this thing, buy the dips. Just wait for it to dip. And see how it reacts. When it gets to that dip area. I can't really do a retracement on the downside because I don't know where the top is yet. This thing could still run. I mean, I could guess, but I hate guessing. I mean, I could go, hey, there's the, I could go to a 4-hour chart. Excuse me. I could go to a 4-hour chart and go, okay, well, this is the bottom, and I think that's probably the top. And so there's where I'm going to draw my retracement. But it could all be for naught because it could just, keep going higher and make a new high. But once again, on the 4-hour chart, let's look over here. That's a big area, right? Had this drop right here, consolidate, moved up like it was going to make a bull run, didn't. Dropped down, made a big move down, and now we're back testing this area right over here from October 10th. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. And let's also keep in mind this, okay? Because I'm a big Bollinger Bands guy. Price is outside the Bollinger Band, okay? It's outside on the 4. It's trying to act as support right here, right? On the 4. And it is above the 200 and the 233-day moving averages on both of them. It's above those. But you can see how close we are to this major resistance area in red, right? And if I was to zoom out, that's where I've got it at. So you guys can put this on your charts, right? Put this on your charts. Go back to July 15th, that low, and take it down, from the close to the wick and draw it over. That's your resistance zone. So, again, while this all looks really good and it's a great move, everything all hinders right around in this area. 9,000 to 9,200. Okay? Any questions? Okay, Mast. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm a bull by heart, okay, and I do not short, okay. I got that out of my system a long time ago. I just hate shorting. I mean, and I know I could make a lot of money shorting stuff, but I just hate doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my nature, and everybody's different, right? I know everybody could, they say successful people trade both ways. Well, sorry, but that's not exactly true. Successful people, I don't ever see Warren Buffett shorting stuff. Does he sell? He'll sell stuff, sure. He'll sell when it gets to a top or whatever, but I don't ever see Warren Buffett shorting. Ever. So that's kind of my thought on things. I'm a bull by heart, and I like things going up, but I'd rather buy them, on dips, or just if I have to go to cash, then I'll go to cash. I'll just sit there and be patient. But I'm not going to short. Too much risk. Too much risk. I mean, if I was to margin trade something, and let's just say this, okay? I mean, I know a lot of people short, right? They do. And I get it. But let's just say this, for example. Let's just say that you shorted Bitcoin, and let's just say you shorted it last night. You was like, okay, well, that looks like it's a bear flag, or it's going lower, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you shorted, and you're on margin, right? And let's just say you shorted, and even if you put a stop loss in, okay, let's just say you do, what happens if your exchange goes down? What happens if they, any number of things could happen. You could miss your order. You could not put it in right. And all of a sudden, Bitcoin does what it does today. Guess what? You're bankrupt. You're done. You're absolutely done. They're calling you. They're suing you. They're coming after you. Right? I don't want that risk. I'll go to sleep at night. I'd rather bet my money going long. And if it goes to zero, then guess what? I just lose whatever money I had in the market. Nothing else. That's it. And that's plain and simple. That's it. If it misses my stop or something gets screwed up, then I just lose whatever I had in the market. I'm not on margin. All right? So stay away from margin. My advice. If there's one piece of advice I can give, stay away from margin. I know a lot of people are posting crap on Twitter, and it just pisses me off about margin trading. Oh, you can make millions. You can, well, sure you can, but you can also lose, and you could lose your ass. Okay? Been there, done that. Don't do it. Stay away from margin. Please, please, please listen to me on that. If anything else, if you're not following my charts, just listen to one thing I say. Do not trade margin, ever. Just trade what you're willing to lose. That's it. And that's what kills. That's why the statistic is out there that 90% or more of traders do not make it in this market. It's a fact. 90% of traders do not make it. They end up falling out. They lose money. They can't handle it, etc. 90% cannot trade on the markets. They lose. And that's because of stuff like that. Margin. So stay away from margin. Too much risk. Okay, sorry about the rant. I'm just trying to protect you guys. I really am. That's all I'm about. I just want to protect you guys. I just want to protect you from what I went through, my experience, 20 years in this. I just want to protect you, okay? Just trying to protect. Okay, so let's look at, so we know where resistance is on Bitcoin. We know what we're looking at, right? Everybody clear on that? Bitcoin, Litecoin, pretty much the same kind of thing, right? We all know where resistance is. Now let's go look at this one. And this is another chart that kind of gave me the inkling that something was going on, right? Was the Bitcoin dominance chart. This just looked to me, and when I did this, and I posted this in channel, and I'll show you again. This thing was in a big time uptrend, right? And I'm not an Elliott wave expert by no means. I don't claim to be. And I tip my hat to those guys because they work their ass off. So much respect to all the Elliott wave guys. But this is what I saw, and even though I don't do it all the time, but when I see something that looks obvious to me on an Elliott wave perspective, I'll post it, right? And so I did this. I was like, okay, well, this could be like a 5-wave correction. Okay? So you start here, you go down for 1, right? Up for 2, the 2-wave. Down for 3. There's your 3-wave, which is an impulse move, right? That's an impulse move. Down in 1, up in 2, impulse move for 3. You come up for 4, which that almost looked kind of impulsive. Usually a 4, I guess, is supposed to be corrective, but yeah, we'll call it what it is. Anyway, and then you go down for, oops, did I get this wrong? Hang on. Oh, I did. Hang on. Misposted it. Here's what I was trying to do. All right. So 1, 2, 3, up for 4, right? And then I originally in my post I put it somewhere down in here. I can't remember. I thought I had it going down maybe a little lower, below 3. You know, down into this area. But it ended up where it did, right? So it did drop below 3, but I had it somewhere back in here in mid-October. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5-wave correction, right? And then I thought to myself, I was like, wait a second, we're approaching some fib cluster, pretty good support area at 161.8. And I was like, looking where Bitcoin was, I was like, okay, well, this thing looks like it could drop lower and then pop. And I was like, I just don't see this thing falling off a cliff. It's had a pretty decent drop, but then it was due for some sort of pop up, right? And so that was part of my thinking as well on the red alert. But I'm not going to give all my secrets away. Anyway, so Bitcoin dominance is here, and this is a big time bullish engulfing. It's going to close that way. Chart's probably candle's going to close out here in about 30 minutes. But that's a big time bullish engulfing. And if it gets back above this, I mean, we could see a pause around 69.91, 38.2 retracement. You know, we'll see what it does there. It'll probably, I'm not expecting this thing to just go straight up, you know, but it could. But that's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it kind of stall in this area a little bit, slightly to up, not much, but slightly up, pause a little bit, and then make another run. And then you get the Bollinger Bands turning, and by that time, Bitcoin will take over. And, you know, if you're playing alts, you want to play them on the USD pairs, in my opinion. The Bitcoin pairs are getting killed right now. And I'll just show you. Let's go over here and look at... All right, so here's your USD. Look at this. All coins are strong, okay? They're good. Every one of them are good. They're all doing decent. You know, it's a crypto thing. Everything's going good, but it's against the USD pair, right? If Bitcoin continues to go up, then you're going to see this. If you're trading against Bitcoin, look at all this red. Everything is red. Every one of them. Except for, you know, maybe 1 or 2 shit coins. But they're all red. So in this market, if you're going to play altcoins, play them against the USD pairs, okay? You may get, if Bitcoin does do a little bit of a retrace, then you may be able to play the Bitcoin pair, but I would be really quick about making that trade. If you're going to play the Bitcoin pair, be really quick about it. You may be able to get a nice scalp, you know what I'm saying? Maybe get a 5 or 10% gain on one of them in one day, but I'd be really, really cautious and quick, okay? Really quick. Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. This is the other one I posted about earlier. Here's one thing to check out, okay? And this one's actually broken its trend line, okay? Right here. Failed there. It's broken above. What I'm going to be watching for is to see if it comes back and tests that trend line, right? Just to make sure. It's like, okay, we broke through. Let's just come back and test it just to make sure it's real, right? Excuse me. Very possible it could come back here and test that, which would put it around 175, 174 area, and then take off again, right? That's one thing I'm going to be watching. Excuse me. Oh, God, I hate this time of year. Yeah, 166. I posted in my channel last night. I said, you know, somebody asked me about it and said this might be a good buy op, and I said sure. It's a good risk reward area because you got this double bottom, but just because price is low or thinks it looks good doesn't mean it can't go lower, right? I think I said that. So I said you could play the double bottom, but just be aware that down below right over here was a fib cluster support area, which I think would have been golden. That would have been, I mean, obviously this area looks great too, but obvious looking back in hindsight, but down in here, that would have been a massive buy. But it's a massive buy here too, but it's one of those that was good risk reward. So I told people, hey, if you want to take it, take it. It's a good risk reward. Yeah, fibs are huge, and I will only say this, and I'll beat it into everybody's brains if I have to, but please, please, please go look at my video on fib clusters. Okay, I've got one on my channel. Go look it up. Fib clusters. They are so important. They will open your eyes big time. Okay, and everybody wants to know what fib clusters are. I can do it right now if you want me to, and show you, but I show it in the video. But basically, most people want to take a fib retracement from one area to the next, right? They go swing low, swing high. And they look at it on longer term charts, right? They go, okay, well, that looks like a low. That looks like a high, and especially when it starts dipping down a little bit, that's when you put your fibs in, right? Well, what's wrong with going from one other fib, right? You could squeeze this thing out a little bit and go from this low to that high, or wherever that high was. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just, time is it's huge, right? You can go anywhere in time and put a fib on something. It doesn't have to be here to here. It could be here to here. We're not looking at just a 38.2 or a 61.8. We could be looking at a 127.2 or a 161.8. And if those line up, that's huge, right? So draw multiple fibs, and if it may look messy on your chart when you do it, but just go back in and erase the ones that it's passed through. And then you'll come up with something like this. Right? You'll come up with something like this, where it matches up almost perfect. And that's the area that you could either use as a buy zone or a stop loss. Right? So if you're looking at this and you're going, man, it looks like a double bottom. I think I might take that, but I know that I have support down below me. I could put my stop loss in down here. That's how you could do it, right? That's just how you can trade it. But you have to have the risk to be able to do it. Some people won't do it. They'll be like, I want to catch the exact bottom by God, or no. Or they'll just wait until it starts going up and then they'll FOMO into it. Me, I would, this is one of those, and I kicked myself last night for probably not taking that trade, but, I was busy with other stuff. But, hang on one second, guys. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. I have to take this call. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Anybody still around? I had to take that phone call. Okay, anybody still around? Sorry about that. All right, so let's see, where did we leave off? Ethereum. All right, let's go look at some other stuff. XRP, same kind of thing. Let's look at this. Talked about this one earlier on the earlier live stream. Lower Bollinger Bands can be like springboards, so to speak, right? So if you don't have them, put them on your chart. They're very helpful, okay? And they'll show you, like, you know, everybody wants to know, God, this thing's not going anywhere. It's just going sideways. Blah, blah. Throw your Bollinger Bands on there, and when things start to get really tight, like right here on XRP, you know a big move is coming, right? It's coming. And then, boom. But what can happen is you get this nice big move outside the Bollinger Bands, but then price reverts and comes back inside, and it could drop all the way back down, right? So it drops outside the lower Bollinger Band, and it has, again, the opposite reaction. Goes up. So here's what I'm thinking, right? And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but XRP hit this top Bollinger Band and bounced all the way down and hit the lower Bollinger Band. Springboard effect, right? Springboard. Stochastic RSI is oversold, trying to hook. This could make a run. So I would say if somebody's playing XRP, then you would be looking at first target 31.8. 31 cents. Close to 32. And then your next target is close to 33. And then your next one almost 34. So it could bump a few cents from here. And if things get really bullish and it wants to break this area right here, which coincidentally lines up with, and I'll put a ray on it and just show everybody. Right there. Amazing how this resistance in this wick at 0.3273 lines up with where the 233 and the 200-day moving average are. Right? So that's the area that is going to be major resistance. So watch that area. Watch that area right there. Okay, anybody else got anything? Chart requests? Lines are open, guys. Chart requests. Anything, questions, anything about Fibonacci, Bollinger Bands, moving averages, charts, crypto? Can everybody hear me all right? Is anybody in here? Sound working okay? All right, back over to Bitcoin until somebody responds. There we go. Hi, Mayday. Or did I say that right? Okay, thank you. S&P, let me take a look. Let me get that chart up. There it is. All right. So a while back, and we'll have to go back to some live streams or whatever. But when everything was dropping down in this area, I think it was, and let me change my pointer, my mouse pointer, so you can see where I'm pointing at. There we go. Let me change. All right. There we go. So I was pointing down to this. I mean, I think it was back in this time frame when everybody was thinking that this was a double top, right? Double top, and that's the end of S&P, right? It's going to fall off a crater and, just drop to zero, blah, blah. I was calling for this to rally, right? And I really think and thought then that this would go to higher highs. We're close now, right? And I still believe that the S&P is probably going to break 3,000. I think we're probably going to hit 31... what is that? 3147? 3140 area? 3150? Something like that. I think that is probably the area that I would take some off the table. Squeeze indicator is showing like it's not fully long because we still have the red dot. But it's trying to go long. It's trying to go long here, right? But we have to watch this because as we saw with Bitcoin, that thing could just reverse and go the other way. So let's see what happens. But my opinion is that this goes higher and breaks that high right there, just like it did back here, and goes higher. And it goes up here. So that's what I think on S&P. Let's see. Let's get that out of the way. And you had... Yeah, recap on... Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. XTZ. What is that one? I don't know if I had that one or not. XTZ. Did I have that? No, I sure didn't. All right. Let's see. Let me do this. There we go. XTZ. And on XTZ, you want the USD. There we go. All right. Wait a second. What is XTZ? That's not pulling up. Or X. Hang on. XTZ. USD. Oh, there it is. All right. Got it. Got it. All right, there we go. Okay, so on the USD pair, yeah, it looks, yeah. I mean, that's a nice reversal pattern. You would want it to get above this red stick right here, which coincidentally lines up with the 20-day moving average. So you want to get above 88 cents. All right. Let's do this and let's see if there's any fibs that line up. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you guys fib clusters, right? I'm going to do this live. And this is a chart that I haven't seen before, so I'm going to just show you what I look at and how I do it. Okay? So watch. All right. So I'm going to take a fib cluster from this low to this high, or that high to this low. It has, I'm going to change the settings, move this out of the way. We've broken the 38.2. We've broken the 50. And we'll leave the 61.8 on there because it was very close, marginal. All right, so we'll leave that one there. All right, Masked, have a good one, buddy. So we did that fib, right? Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go from this high. And let me click on that. There we go. That high to this low. Not sure what in the world happened there. Let's go, there we go. All right, that low to this high over here, okay? Let's see if anything lines up. And I'm gonna have to go back and put in some of the ones I took out. Let's go 38.2, 23.6. All right, and there we go. All right, see the thickness right here that you're seeing where things line up on each other? Right there. 61.8 and the 23.6. So this area right here is of some, interest, right? Resistance, right? That's why it's stopping there, along with the lower Bollinger Band. And then you've got, if this thing breaks out, you're probably going to look at the 78.6. That's your next resistance zone. So 0.8938. And if things get really crazy, then right up here at the next, the 127.2 and the fib cluster right here. So let's not go like way over in a border, ourselves. But right here, that's the area you have to get over. 86 to, what is that? 86 to 87. Need to refresh that chart a little bit. Let's see here. And there go the kitty cats. There we go. Just wonder what happened to my other indicators. There we go. Okay, so that's XTZ. Look at this. Drop back below the, it's almost like Bitcoin in a way, right? Kind of mirrors Bitcoin. So this is one of those you throw on your chart and you go, it kind of follows the same pattern as Bitcoin, right? It really does. So whatever Bitcoin does, this does. All right, that's the USD version. All right. Any other chart requests? Okay, I know Mast was looking at Facebook and Google. Yeah, let's go look at them. All right, that's the S&P. Let me go over to, switch it over to Google. Let's look at, all right. All right, so there's Google, right? And it's pretty much going to follow in the same step as the S&P 500, right? Pretty close to. And I know that everybody is watching. Oh, if I can draw it on here, let me do this. Everybody is probably looking at something like this. If I can get it on there. There we go. Let's just change that over to yellow so everybody can see it. And let's go ahead and extend this out. All right, there we go. All right, so what's wrong with that chart? All right. I mean, yeah, everybody's looking at top, 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 but this thing is going up, right? It's going up. And until it breaks down into this area, it breaks below, why are you fighting it? Why? I mean, we got a nice, and here's the other thing on the squeeze indicator. It went long right back here. All right, went long right here. So you could have got in, got a little bit of money. Sure, it's getting a little toppy right here, but look what happens back here. Even though it looks toppy, don't assume that it can't go a little higher, right? So I'm not expecting like a moonshot on Google. I'm expecting something up in here to make higher highs. And then maybe it drops back down, right? This slow stochastic still has a little bit of room to go to the upside, right? A little bit of room to go to the upside. And then I would start thinking about, okay, let's take some off the table. All right? That's Google. I'll check Facebook later. Midday, let's see. Eta and Theta. All right, let's take a look. Let me change my pointer focus again. All right, let's go look at. And do you want USD? Hoping you want USD pairs. All right, so, oh, you want BTC? Okay. Let's go, nothing wrong with that. Let's go look. ADA on the BTC pair. All right. Here's what you got. And I'm sorry to say this. Let's do this. Let's go Ray. Yeah, may not be as bad as what we think. Let's go this. Let's do, we got a trend line here. Okay. You got, that's one trend line, right? Hey, Abram. Let's do this. Let's go, if you was to draw it like this, it's broken it, right? So you got a trend line right there, broken. Okay. Let's go ahead and take that out of there just so we know. You got, you could do this. Get that out of there. All right, there we go. And then you got this. Okay? So that's one thing to look at, this downtrend line right here. Okay? Right there. You got this uptrend line. So if it falls back down, could still come back and test the 78.6. But let's do a fib retracement and see if something has changed. Let's go from this low to this high. And let's go ahead and go into the settings. We're going to take out all the junk. 23.6 is broken. 38.2 has broken. And it's sitting right at the 50% retracement. My guess, okay, and you see on this chart, let me just show you real quick. I'm going to zoom in on ADA BTC. This candlestick pattern right here, these two, okay, that is a bearish engulfing pattern, okay? You stay away from that. You do not buy into that pattern. And especially when you know that the lower Bollinger Band is going down, right? It's coming down to it. You got the 61.8 retracement right here, but I think that was from previous, it's close enough. But I would stay away from ADA BTC for now, right? And you got your stochastic RSI, which is failing at the 50 area, right? Right here. Trying to. It's crossing over. This thing looks like it has all, like it could come down into the 450s. Possibly even the 430s, depending on how high Bitcoin goes. So, do you risk that? I say no. I say stay away from ADA right now. On the Bitcoin pair. Okay? That is my call. Stay away from it. And you had the big time, obviously everybody was selling all their Bitcoin alts to get into Bitcoin, right? That's obvious. That's what happened today. Could you play a bounce? You could, but I would be very cautious of overhead resistance right here now when you got the 10, the 20 right below you or above you right here. I would be very cautious. So I would stay away from ADA right now. Excuse me. I would stay away from ADA right now. Theta. Let's go look at Theta. I think I had Theta on the BTC. And same sort of thing, right? I mentioned this in the channel earlier. When you've got Bitcoin making the move that it is right now, and it could go a little sideways, right? Bitcoin could, right? Which could give some of these things a little pause to be able to come and test some of these moving averages and try to make a move up, but it's all dependent on Bitcoin, right? So at this stage in the game, why play the Bitcoin pairs? Stay away from them. Go over to the altcoins, or to the USD pair, all right? Let's go look at ADA, all right? Just kind of forming a bottom right in here. The USD pair could take off. It's nothing wrong with the coin. It's the pair that it's against, right? It's not the coin. So, you know, I think I'm going to take out. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take it. I don't want to take that out right now. I'm going to take that red line out because it broke through that. I'm going to take out the 38.2. Oops. Oh, I totally screwed that up. Let's take out the 127.2. I'm just going to get rid of all that crap. Let's start over. Fib here to the low there. Okay. Let's go to settings. And it broke through the 61.8. And it broke above the 61.8. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. Broke above it, right? So on the USD pair, ADA could go to 0.049. 0.049, possibly. Still has to get above this area right there. All right? Let's see. I don't understand when you say ADA is forming a bottom. I didn't say ADA on the BTC pair. I said it on the USD pair. And so when you look at this, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but is this area right here? Shoot. Let me do this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's call it right in there. Is that not a bottom? Possible double bottom? That's on the USD pair. Right? Bottom, bottom. That's a double bottom. Reacted pretty strong off of it. Am I wrong? Bottom here, bottom here. Okay, so we're clear. That's a possible double bottom right there on the ADA USD pair. Not Bitcoin pair, USD pair. And I think did I draw that? I draw that stupid, didn't I? Was that a wick right there I missed? I think I did on ADA. That's my bad. Yeah, there we go. I did. I missed that. My bad. So not only did it hold this support right over here back from early February. 1, 2. That's your key area right there. Okay. 0.0349. My bad. Right there, I missed that. I don't know what in the heck I drew. I must have misdrew it right there where that support was. My apologies. It can happen. So major, obviously we know where major support is on ADA, right? On the USD pair. Are we clear on that? Or as Jack Nicholson would say, are we clear? Right there. Double bottom. Can it move higher? So there you go. That's a ADA. Any other chart requests? I probably should do, you know what? I should probably do some more fibs on this. I don't think I did any more. Let me do this. There's one. Let me do this one. Let's do another fib retracement. See if there's maybe a cluster somewhere. I did one fib on that. Let me do 3, 2, no. 50. Oh, wow. Huh. Amazing how that happens. And we'll leave that. We'll do the 78.6. All right. So amazing how the 50% retracement lines up from this low or this high to this low. And it lines up right here with that little area, that wick, right? Almost perfect. So that's your key resistance right there. After that, slow grind through these, right? It's not going to be like a moonshot, right? It's going to be a test that, get through it, test that, test that. And if it does decide to blast off, then you can start looking at the other, you know, the 78.6 is obviously going to be massive resistance. That's 5 cents. All right, 0.051 something. Anyway, looks decent. I mean, it's one of those that if you were playing it, here's how I would do it if I was playing it. Okay, and if you're just in love with this one, why don't you let this just kind of, I mean, obviously the 50 EMA is resistance, right? But you got good support right here at the 20 and the 10, right? And what you want to see is you want to see that 10 get above the 20 and hold, all right? So if you're really in love with this thing, you could buy it, let's say 0.039. I mean, I know that we're getting into decimals here and that's hard, but 039, you could buy it right there or a little bit above, and then just put your stop in like 0.038. Because if it drops below those moving averages, then it's probably going to go right back down. All right? And not only that, but let's do this. Let's just say, since we have a candle close here, we can do this. Let's do that low to this high. Okay? And let's just throw on, see where that 38.2 is. Yeah, there you go. Amazing. So it's holding 0.040756. All right. It's holding this area right here. If it drops below that, then the 50% retracement down here at 0.039535, that's the area you want to probably add a little bit or start getting into. Okay, and then you could obviously add a little bit more, maybe down here at 61.8, and just think it goes up, right? Because it's starting to turn, but I want to see the 10 and the 20 cross first. That's my key. I want to see those cross, or at least I want to see that area hold, right? 0.0397. I want to see that area hold right there. I want to see that area hold, and if it does, you know, if it wicks down to it, red candle, I mean, I'm sure it's going to scare people because, oh, it's selling off, it's selling off. But if it comes down, then you could buy into it, into that selling pressure, and possibly play the breakout, right? If not, you put your stop loss in, you get out, and you're good. Make sense? It's not hard. I mean, I know it, for new guys it is, but I'm just saying for me, I'm just sitting there looking at it and I'm like, okay. All right, guys. Any other questions? Matic. Yeah, let's go take a look at Matic. And I would much prefer to look at it on a USD pair. Let's see here. Interesting. That's going to be gone. Let me take that out. Been a while since I looked at it. All right, so I'm going to do this live, okay, and this is how I do it, guys. All right, so watch. This is a daily chart, okay? Daily chart. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so I can get my lines right, okay? But I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the fibs, and I'm going to go over here and find the low, which right here. I'll just pick that one. That's pretty close. And I'll go up to the high. All right. And let's just take, obviously, since it broke through the 38.2, it broke through the 50. Broke through the 60. Yeah, did it break through the 60? No, it didn't break through the 61.8. All right, so we'll leave, barely, right? I'm sure if I went over to one of these, it probably hit close. Anyway, I'll leave that there, all right? And then let's do this, okay? Let's go Fibonacci. Let's go right here to this high. If I can get the thing to line up, and there we go. All right, that high to this low. Okay? And then let's put on our fibs. 23.6, which obviously is broke. Just wanted to check. 38.2, and we're right there. And we'll put on the 50. All right. So it looks like to me, and when I look, and this is just how I look at things, right? Okay. I see all these moving averages bunched up together, and this thing looks like it really could go higher, right? It's going to take a massive drop to be able to turn these moving averages back down. But what do I want to see? I want to see it break, which it looks like it is now, and I'm going to take it out, the 38.2. Okay, so I take out the 38.2. So now what am I thinking? I'm thinking to myself that I'm looking at these Bollinger Bands, and I'm looking how they're curling back in toward each other. Okay, notice this. This one's curling down. This one's coming up. And so my thought pattern on this is that these things are coming together, and at some point this thing has got to go one way or the other. It's either going up higher, right, quickly, or it's going down quickly. And when I look at the pattern of this thing, I'm looking at this. All right, let's just draw a ray. Okay. Here's your bottom. Bottom, bottom, right? Double bottom. And we got the nice bounce off, and now we're kind of meandering and correcting a little bit. I love this pattern, right? I love this. Okay? Love it. Absolutely love it, because that's a pattern. In fact, I may buy this ship tonight. This is a pattern that is corrective, right? It's like, that's all your people that made their money here and they're getting out, right? Or people that FOMO'd into it late, they're selling out, right? And now the strong players are coming in behind them and going, oh, thank you for that. I think I'll pick up some here. And so now you've got a reversal pattern here on the moving averages, right at the 61.8. And you've got a potential to be able to just, probably by tomorrow or the next day, I would expect Matic to probably move a lot higher. I could see this one going, at least testing right up in here, 0.01576, and probably breaking this area right up in here. Okay, this looks like it wants to go higher. That's just me. All right, there's still some resistance back over here, but where's that resistance at? You know, let's do this. This is where you got to go back and look at things. Where was that major high at? Right, it was right here. And where does that line up? It lines up at the 161.8 retracement. So, me, if I was playing this, I could be long right here, and I know that this resistance is way up here. That's major resistance, and people are going to be selling the crap out of it. I could actually play it right here just below it. I could buy here and sell right here. Seems like an easy move, doesn't it? Right? So you could play that right there to 0.019. Seems like an easy move in my mind, but I'll let you make that decision. Okay, V. 80, oh, it broke 8,900. Let's take a look. Doesn't bother me. I'm long Bitcoin. Oh, shit. It broke 9,000. Oh, shit. 9,200. Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. Live. Going live, guys. We are live. We are testing We are testing the trend line live. Here we go. We are testing the trend line live. Oh, here we go. Boom. Booyah. Oh, shorts are getting creamed right now. All right, so I can take out my... I'm going to take that line out. It's broke that, so I'm going to take that out. And look where it's kind of pausing at. It's pausing right at that little area. Let's see if we can break through. If we can break through, we're right at the trend line. I think we're actually... Oh, we've actually... Look at this. Zoom in. We broke the trend line, guys. There she goes. There she goes. Broke the trend line. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This is unbelievable. We're live and doing this. Love it. Go Bitcoin. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, God. This is unbelievable. All right, so she pierced it, right? And let's see what's going to happen. We're going to get some profit taking. Had some FOMO guys in there. Here we go. You had some FOMO going on, so people are like, oh, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out. It's good money. Look at this. There we go. Volatility at its best. Volatility at its best. Oh my gosh, this is awesome, guys. All right, so wow, got the pump up to 90. No way. No way. Did it actually hit 9,600? That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Oh, they cleared out a bunch of stops right there. Oh my God. All right, we're going to watch this live, guys. We're going to watch this live. Oh, this is unbelievable. Love this. This is awesome. But again, like I said, let's go over to a 4-hour chart. Okay? We are way above the upper Bollinger Band. Way above. Okay? Stochastic RSI into overbought territory. I mean, even though it's a beautiful thing, nice pop, love it. Don't FOMO into this, guys. Don't FOMO into it. Oh my gosh. Even though it was a nice pop. That's a $600-700 pop. Unbelievable. Wow. Nobody can, I mean, that's the beauty about charts. Nobody can predict that, right? It's like you, even though, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not here to brag. Sorry. But the more I go back and look at my weekly chart, the one that I posted where it would go down and then go up, I put the arrows in there. Oh my God. That's probably my best call of my lifetime. Probably. And it was 2 days before it happened. Or 3 days, maybe. Wow. Unbelievable. All right, so let's see here. I need to start doing some fibs on this. All right, so let's go and do this on Bitcoin. Let's do that high to this low, and let's see what fibs we got lining up here. Broke the 161.8. Let's go to the 261.8. Which is way up there around 10,000. Wow. Okay, so I'll leave that there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing, guys. All right, so let's do... Tell you what, a lot of so-called experts got crushed tonight on what they're thinking, and I'm one of them, right? Because even though I got the direction right, I wasn't expecting it to do this, and I'll just be flat out honest. I really wasn't. I did not expect this. I expected us to go down and test that area and then go up, but I didn't expect it to happen this quick. I'll be honest about that. I thought it might happen over the next week or two, but not like this. Let's go. What else do I want to do? Golly, it broke through that resistance. Guys, I got to take that resistance out. I mean, that may be a false signal. I don't know. But for now, it's gone. I got to take it out. It broke above it, right? It wicked above it, and I got to take it out. So let's go and do this. And I'm going to have to go up to a daily chart. Wow. Okay, so it wicked above the downtrend line. Let's do this. Good Lord. Wow. Only Bitcoin, right? Only Bitcoin can do this. Never doubt Bitcoin. Unbelievable. Let's go and do from this high to this low. All right. Let's see what lines up here. Broke the 50. Oh, there's the 68 point. There we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Let's take out the 261.8. Let's put in the 1.272. And there we go. All right. Yeah, golly, I got to get rid of the 61.8. Actually broke that, right? Just have to. Let me get rid of the 61.8. I don't think this is done yet. I don't think it's done. I think this is just pause. Right up in here, probably around 90. Oh, good Lord. Might be getting close to 10. Hate to say it. God, do I dare say it? Could it get to 10,000? This area right in here, look, here's a fib cluster right here at 10,000. It could actually, and probably stop short of that. That's a psychological number. We'll see. But man, guys, this is a massive move. Unbelievable. Trend line break. Wow. Did not expect that to happen like in hours, right? JG, I mean, good Lord, dude. I mean, it could be. Who knows? I mean, but it's Bitcoin. It can do anything. This thing could crash all the way back down to 8,600. And then we got all kinds of things to look at. So let's look at it live and let's see what's happening here. This is your daily. I mean, the daily is spiking up hard in the stochastic RSI. Volume is like, compared to the previous candle, it's kind of light, right? Kind of light. That gives me pause. We'll see. I want to see a close above that trend line. That would be huge. That would be huge. Could be a BART. Yeah, there's no BART in this. I guarantee you there's no BART. And I'll tell you what, here's the other thing, guys, right? Okay, I'm just going to point this out. wanted to see follow through, right? From this candle, this reversal candle, this pattern, red stick, doji, green stick, and when the green stick overtakes the red stick over here, you want to see follow through. Well, there's your follow through. Okay? This is a daily chart still, though, so be in mind of that. But, man, talk about some follow through. Good Lord. I mean, guys, this is looking good for bulls right now. It really is. Those idiots that were calling for 3,000. Give me a break. Give me a break. Unbelievable. Who was in here saying that was like it had to break below 7,100 before I got bearish? Who did that? Me. Right? I'm not trying to brag, guys, but I've been around this for 20 years and I've seen it before. And when I put out red alerts, do I put out red alerts for a reason, right? I put them out for a reason. And some idiot on Twitter, I think, was like, well, and I get it. Maybe he was like, be more specific, but hey, come into my channel. I'm not going to give away shit for free. On Twitter, I mean, I'll like the weekly chart. I gave that guy to you guys in the channel. What I thought was going to happen. Now, I didn't expect it to do like straight up, but I thought it would like hit the area I thought it would and go up, but I didn't expect it to go up this much. But anyway, I'm just ranting. I'm sorry. I've done this so long, and it just, God, people, when they question me, and it just, oh well. Anyway, so there we are in Bitcoin. Let's go look at Litecoin. Did Litecoin break 60? No, it did not. Okay, so Litecoin tested its resistance. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up, right? Look at this. What did Litecoin hit? Look at this wick. It hit the 50 EMA. Right there. Hit it and dropped right off of it. Hit the 50 EMA. Unbelievable. You can't make that crap up. You really can't. And right in the resistance zone. God, this is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So guys, again, don't FOMO into this, okay? Please do not FOMO into this move. I said it back here, I said it back then. I mean, we're going to get some retrace back into this. Nothing goes straight up. All right? Let's go look at a 4-hour chart. Way outside Bollinger Bands, right? Way too far away from the 10 and 20 EMAs again, right? So here's the play, okay? And this is my opinion, okay? So don't flame me if it, if you bought in and I'm saying this. But what I want to see is I want to see Bitcoin. It's made this nice move right here. Impulse, big, huge move. I want to see it come back down in a little bit inside the Bollinger Bands and maybe even retest the 200 or the 233, right? Not saying it has to, but let's let it retrace back into and see where it's going to bounce at. Okay? I mean, right now, let's go look at this. Let's zoom in. And if we're looking for bounce areas, I'm sure everybody's wanting to try to day trade the shit out of this, but let's go and do a retrace on this area. And let's just assume that that wick right there at 9,700 was the high. Let's just go back and let's look at 38.2, 50, 61.8. There we go. That's all you have to do, right? It's easy. Just throw those fibs on it. Let's go over to an hourly chart. Hourly hasn't closed yet. Let's go to a 30. Still hasn't closed. So, big pop, we're still waiting on candle closes, right? Way outside Bollinger Bands. Don't FOMO into this, guys. Don't FOMO. Let it come back into you. Let it come back in. All right? And by the way, for all you day traders, good luck to you guys and congrats if you played the 10 EMA on the 30-minute chart. Congrats. Because that was, it held it. One-hour chart, held it. At some point, right? At some point, and I think we learned this right over here when it made this move over here earlier in the day, it gets outside the Bollinger Bands, it comes up, comes back inside, and it wants to test the 10 EMA. So it begs the question, what's it going to do now? It's outside the Bollinger Bands. Is it going to come back inside in the next hour or two and test the 10 EMA again? Just saying. Don't FOMO into high prices. Let it come down to your area. So let's just have some popcorn for a little bit and let's let this dive back inside the Bollinger Bands, right? Two-hour chart, outside Bollinger Bands. Hate to keep harping on it, guys. Outside Bollinger Bands, let it come back inside just a little bit. Okay? Stochastic RSI, it can stay overbought. That's not a big deal. Let's go look at 4-hour chart. Happy times, happy times. I love it green. I love green. Love green, guys. Don't know about you, but I love green. I guess the Asians woke up. Is it that time? The Asians woke up. That's what caused it. That's what caused it. It's like, what, 12-hour difference probably? 10? Oh, yeah. Big time. Oh, yeah. JG, it had to be. There's no other explanation. I mean, China right now is the number, and I hate to say this about the U.S., but They are so far ahead of us right now on everything they're doing. It's not even funny. We're too worried about impeachment. We're too worried about immigration. We're not worried about technology over here whatsoever. So China is way ahead of the game. Hate to say it, but we are suffering. And this actually is good for Bitcoin, right? And can you imagine? I mean, China has come out and now they're accepting blockchain. What do you think the U.S. is going to do? Can you imagine the reaction? What's going to happen next? It's probably going to be another couple of weeks, but I'm sure the U.S. is sitting there going, oh shit, China's getting the blockchain. How do we do this? How do we do that? And it's going to filter down, and all of a sudden in the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to see something about the U.S. adopting some sort of blockchain technology. They're going to follow China. It's going to happen. And that's what's going to drive Bitcoin, right? Man, those freaking idiots that thought this was going down to 3,000. What a bunch of jokes. Unbelievable. Just, I mean, it just makes me, I mean, people trying to drive price down and you know, get people to believe that crap. Why? It just, God, it cracks me up. Oh, well. You didn't hear that crap in my channel, I'll tell you that. Who's been bullish this whole time? I have. I've been bullish. And who called the bullish move back in March, April? I'm sure a lot of people, other people did, and I'm not trying to brag, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just whenever I mention something, it just seems like I don't hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, great call, good job, blah blah." You know, it sticks in me a little bit. That's fine. I'll just let those other guys with 20,000 followers posting their crap do their thing. Oh, Lord. Telegram? Why Telegram? I don't really like the Telegram platform because I can't create separate channels, so to speak. You know, like on Discord. I can have a chat. I mean, I can have a room for people that want to talk BS. I can have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, altcoins, my tip jar, my trading calls, Forex, currency. I can have multiple channels and it's easy to navigate. It really is. It's got a little sidebar, you know. It's really easy. You should try it. Discord. Download the Discord app. It's easy. Or are you not in my Discord channel? I guess that's the question. No? Okay. Oh, you're in Discord. Okay. Yeah, so that's why I prefer Discord, because I can I can post Bitcoin somewhere. I can post Litecoin, and it's just easier for me. It really is. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Sorry about the delay. I am back. All right, and Bitcoin continues to push higher. That's on the 4-hour chart. Let's go over to a 1 hour. Yeah, this thing's a monster right now. So I would say at this point, golly, I'm sure everybody's going, do I jump in now? Do I jump in now? Guys, it's hard. It really is. It's a hard decision because, you're in this, this is a parabolic move, right? And if we haven't learned anything from parabolic moves, then it's a bad deal, right? So don't FOMO into this. Just don't. I mean, this could still go to 10,000, right? Could go to 10,000, but I'm just saying, err on the side of caution, right? Because at some point, nothing goes straight up. It's going to pull back at some point, right? And that's where you want to evaluate things. Just let it pull back. Be patient. I know it's been, 20 minutes since this thing made this big move. Be patient. Let all this noise, just stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Don't let emotion rule your trading decisions. Oh, goodness. I don't know how else to explain it. I really don't. I mean, I've seen this before. In fact, this really actually almost gives me nightmares in the reverse of when I was short the S&P futures back in 2001. But we won't go there. We will not go there. Actually, we will go there. Because it reminds me so much of back then. That's why, like, so back in 2001, and this is why I say you have to have, especially when you're shorting something, to have stop losses, right? Especially shorting. And if you're on margin. And when you're shorting, you're on margin, right? So this almost looks eerily similar, right? Is that the S&P back then was going down. It was, bear market, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to just drop off a cliff. I was like short back in here, and I'll just give an example. Okay. I saw this little pattern right here, and I was short, right? I saw this, went short, and I was up probably, at the time, I was up probably $2,000 on this S&P futures. I mean, I was looking good. But guess what? I didn't have a stop loss. And I'm sitting there, and it's middle of the day. It's probably about 11, 12 o'clock, maybe 1. And all of a sudden, I see this big green stick come out of nowhere like this, right? And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And it happened so quick that by the time I could get my orders set, it did this. So imagine this 4-hour chart on a 1-hour chart, right? I was sitting there scrambling, and before I knew it, I was down $3,000. And then I look at the news, and I'm sitting there looking at the Fed cut interest rates intraday, which they had never done ever in their history before. And I'm sitting there going, holy shit, are you serious? And I was like, the emergency Fed rate cut, because the market was crashing so bad that the Fed came in intraday and cut rates. And so when you see a rate cut, what's that do to the markets? It makes them go up. And so that happened, and I ended up, oh yeah, it was brutal. So anyway, it killed me. But anyway, enough of that. I kind of compare this to like a rate cut. That's what I'm starting to think of now. It's like we get this nice, it's bottoming, it's crashing, and then all of a sudden you get this like rate cut. And all of a sudden you get the spike, and then we're going to get the drop. But where's it going to drop to is the question. All right. So anyway, here we go. Nice run. We're watching it live. This is 4-hour chart. We have broken the trend line. And as I said earlier, what I want to see now, okay, and this is going to take a little bit to play out, but I want to see this it obviously broke it, but I want to see now when it comes and dips back down, like, because there's going to be some profit taken here in a little bit. Count on it. But I want to see it hold that trend line, and if it does, then you get this move up to 11,000, right? Or at the very least, 10,000. 10.2. If not, then we come back inside the trend line and we test the 200 and the 233. But things are getting, guys, I'm telling you, things are getting way out of hand right now. Okay? And as much as I love this move, and I'm a big Bitcoin bull and I'm long, I love this action. It gets me excited, but I'm a realist. And so I know that things are going to come back and test the 10 and the 20 at some point. Okay? Keep that in your minds and look at all this volume right here. Okay? Just keep in mind, you see volume spikes like this in the past, selling volume stick here, you get a little spike here, and then it just meanders and goes sideways. All right? We're getting this now. We're getting we got a big volume spike on the low, sideways. Now we're getting the big volume spikes on the upside. Now watch for sideways. Okay? So be very cautious of that. Watch that. Now, of course, if it crosses 10,000, then I'll just deny I ever said anything like that. Just kidding. But it's Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin. It can do anything it wants. Wow, that China news. Who would have thought, man? Unbelievable. Came out of nowhere. And I'll just ask you this. Does China have stroke or do they have stroke? They have some major stroke. Now, it's not like I'm going to become a Chinese citizen or anything, but where was the U.S. in all this? Why is the U.S. not embracing this technology and they're trying to rip it? It's like, are we suddenly becoming a third world country? What is going on in the U.S. right now? Why are we not taking the lead on stuff like this? This is it. Blockchain technology is the future. I'm not trying to get political about this, but good Lord, you can't help. Unbelievable. Makes me want to move to somewhere outside the United States if they keep this crap up. I mean, I love America. I'm born here, raised here, love this country, but man, some of the crap that's going on here is just making me wonder. It really is. Anyway. All right, let's go over to, that was a 4-hour chart. Let's go over and look at the 1-hour chart and see what's going on there. Still firmly holding above the trend line for now, right? Still got your 10 EMA down here at 87.82. So just be on the alert right for retrace, right? Be on the lookout for retracements. All right? Let's just watch. This big green stick right here that you're seeing where my cursor is, you know, that's going to be a big area for bulls, right? Going forward. So that's why we're kind of watching this 38.2. Let's see, China. So BH 635. Yeah, I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, I mean, China is way ahead of us right now. I mean, they're not involved in any major wars. They're not spending a lot of money on bull crap. They're taking care of their infrastructure. They're building up their military. They're obviously taking money from us. It's almost like Japan back in the 80s, right? Japan they owned all of our buildings. They owned, you go look at Los Angeles or anywhere in California and Japanese owned it, right? So it's almost the same situation, but what are we doing? We're not doing anything. This country is polarized right now. We're destroying ourselves from within. It's Democrats against Republicans. And they can't come together because there's a power struggle. And I'm not trying to be too political about this, but I'm sorry. But I think they're trying to impeach this president. And I'm not saying I like the guy. I'm not saying that he's my best friend or I agree with everything he says. God knows I I wish he would just shut up on Twitter a lot. But he has good ideas and he cares about the country. But I think the guy is trying to make a point that, this country has been run by so many insiders that nobody on the the outside, like us, have anything to say. Anything we say means nothing. That all they care about is themselves, and that's it. Period. And you look at what the Fed is doing right now, that is really scary. The Fed is pumping money into this market like no other. And it makes me wonder what in the hell is going on. It's almost like they're preparing for some sort of catastrophe. And that catastrophe could be that they're going to impeach Trump. And if they impeach Trump, there's 50% of this population that is going to be pissed off because they're not doing it the right way. It's almost like a coup d'etat. It's like they're trying to get the guy out just because they didn't like how the last election went. I'm not saying the guy is a saint. I'm not. But I'm just saying that the guy came in and he said he was going to clear out the swamp, right? He was going to clear out all the bullshit, get everybody out that was taking money from others and not helping the country, and they were just there to collect a paycheck, and they don't like it. They don't like somebody coming in there and messing up their crap. And so what are they going to do? We don't like this. I don't like that. Let's impeach the son of a bitch. That's what they're doing. So forgive my political speech here. That's just how I feel. And it pisses me off because that's not how this country was made to be. If you want to impeach a president, then by God, you better come up with a good reason, and you better let him or his attorneys be able to go and investigate what they're talking about. But they're doing it behind closed doors, and that's not right. I got into a big fight with my sister-in-law on this, and I'm sure she probably hates my guts, and I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, but forgive my French. But this gets to my core. It really does. I see something like this going on, and it just makes me it makes me fear for my country. It really does. BB 635, I agree with you. They have nothing. They say they do, but again, it's the media in this country, CNN, MSNBC, you name it. Everybody except Fox News. And I'm not a total right winger, right? I'm always one of those guys that's in the middle. I'll look at both sides. I really will. But what they're doing to this guy is unlike any I've ever seen since I've been alive. It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And my sister-in-law is older than I am, and I can't believe how far right she is. I mean, it's just, she is psycho. Unbelievable. Tried to tell her, open your eyes. Open your eyes and see what's going on. This is a coup d'etat. They're trying to get this guy out of office because they didn't like how the last election went. And the person behind it is the Clintons. Promise you that. Crooked son of a bitches. Sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to get into political crap, but God, just ticks me off. They're so crooked. Unbelievable. All right, so let's go back to the charts. Bitcoin. Guys, this is like unbelievable. It does not want to quit. It really doesn't. Really does not want to quit right now. Oh, Mass Ninja. Yeah, 2016 was bad. I mean, it was bad. 2020 is going to be, like you said, it's going to be 2 times worse. 2 times. 2 times. I'll tell you who I do like, and I'm not a Democrat, but I do like that Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard. I like her. She served in the military. She's not going to run for re-election in her district. Man, I'm impressed with her. I really am. And if there was a woman president I would vote for, it would be her. But right now, I'm sticking with Trump. Bitcoin. Wow. Golly, it just keeps powering higher. Okay, we'll see if this top holds. If not, then we're going to 10,000, guys. If it breaks through this, we're going to 10,000. Hard as it is to imagine, we're going to 10,000. Who would have thought that, right? Like yesterday. We're sitting at 7,400 and we go to 10,000 today. That's Bitcoin for you. That is Bitcoin. I'm curious to see. I'm going to go and look at... Oh, man. I'm really tempted to take out this trend line now, guys. I really am. Wow. I did not. And I'll be honest, I did not expect this to happen. I really didn't. I don't know who else could. I mean, on my weekly chart, it looks great, right? Like I called it perfectly, like a small drop down and then the arrows showing up and whatnot, but I was not expecting this. Looks great, but I was expecting this to break that, but not so soon. Not so soon. All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna take it out. I mean, I want to leave it in. I was wanting to leave it in just to test the back side of it, but I'm gonna take it out. I just think this is done. I'm going to go ahead and take out the moving averages or the fibs just for now until I see a clear sign of a top. This is just totally bullish. This is unbelievable. I mean, this could get back to, the way it's going. Guys, I'll say it right now. I think it could get back to 10,000, close to, or test it. By tomorrow. It's very doable before any kind of pullback. How cool is it to be with you guys tonight, watching this happen? This is so cool. Oh my God. This is awesome, guys. And I'm glad everybody's around, you know. Let's see. Let's check in on Litecoin. Probably getting close. Yeah, there it is. And it's getting close to that resistance. And I'm sure it probably... my thinking, and we'll see, you know, I mean, it's right here at that 50 EMA again, right there, right? So testing it could possibly break it. If it does, then 63 is your next level. And then probably a pullback, and then we'll see if we can take on the 61.8 and the 78.6. Oh, Masked Ninja, I appreciate it, man. I would love that. That would be awesome. But nobody knows about me. Nobody knows about me. All they care about is paid subscriptions and whatever, you know. I'll just keep doing my stuff for free. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I ever asked for is if people donated. That's the only thing. If you want to donate $1 or $5 or whatever, you know, that's the only thing that makes me happy. I mean, I got pissed off there for a while, and I was like, man, I'm putting out some pretty good calls, and nobody's, you know, I was thinking in my mind that people were probably, you know, taking the trades and going off of them, but, you know, and making money, and somebody would donate, but nobody has. That's why I was, you know, that's why I was going to or thinking about going to a paid thing, but oh God, it just gets in my mind, man. I just trying to charge people for something like that. I just want to teach people. That's all I want to do. And if they want to donate, they donate, you know. I just hope they remember me and some of the calls I made, you know. If somebody gets into something and makes $500,000 or $20,000, they'll go, hey, you know what? I think I'll throw him 10% or whatever. That's all I wish for, you know. All right. So just skimming through the charts again. think we kind of know where we're at, guys, right? Mast, you have to be in my Discord channel. That's where I have my addresses. Actually, I'll do this. I'll tell you what. If anybody here, I'll tell you what. If anybody's around, and I know it's only 8 people, but I'll just do this. Not sure if anybody will donate or not. So here is my... All right, guys, that's my Bitcoin wallet. Okay, so if you want to donate something there, then that's fine. If not, then I'm totally cool with it. Doesn't matter either way. You know, I'm here to try to help people and teach people, and if you want to spiff me something, then that's cool. You know, if not, totally cool with that. I'm not going to sit there and rip you guys. I got mad one time, maybe a couple of times. I was just like, you know, I'm putting out these charts and I'm sharing my experience over 20 years of what I've seen and what I expect and what is going to happen. And when it does happen, you know, it's like, what am I doing here? You know, I'm like, and nobody says, hey, great call. No, nothing. You know, and I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, or no questions. I mean, ask me a question. If you don't know, then let me know. You know, just ask me a question. You know, it just, I don't know. There's times I thought about just giving up Twitter and Discord altogether and just do my own crap. You know, there really is. But I'm not going to do it. I'm stubborn. I want to help people and I want to try to help them save money and not get wrecked. You know what I'm saying? How did I trade this move? So yeah, basically, I mean, it was the same thing as I said. You know, basically, I've always been long Bitcoin, right? For a long time, and I have a core position, but that doesn't mean I can't trade it, right? So what I've done, and you guys have to go to my Discord channel and just see my trading plan, right? And how I do things. Some people like to go into things, and this is how I put it, right? Let's just say you have $1,000, right? And let's just say that you want to put all 1,000 on Bitcoin. And let's just say that price is at $6,000. You put $1,000 of Bitcoin, okay, right at $6,000, and it goes up to $6,400. What are you going to do when it hits $6,400? Okay? Are you just going to sell all of what you put into it? Or are you going to, like, hey, wait a second, let me think about this. I think what I'm going to do, I think it might go higher, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my original investment plus a tad bit of profit out of that. Okay? Does that make sense? Take a little bit out, get your original, when it makes that big move, take your original investment out, right? That protects your capital to go to something else. Then, if it moves high enough, take a little bit of profit, you make some money, but yet you still have your core position, you still have a position. So if it goes to the moon, then it goes to the moon and you're still in it. Right? You're still in the position. You don't have to FOMO into it. And then you can rinse and repeat. You could do the same thing when it hits a 10, 20 on a pullback. You could buy it, put your stop loss in, because you know that area is probably pretty good, and then put your stop loss in and then let it ride. Buy it again. Do rinse and repeat. Take your original investment out plus a little bit of profit, but don't take the whole position out. That's what everybody does. That's what probably 99% of people do, is I'm buying it here and I'm going to sell it right there. 100% here, 100% there. Don't do that. So, you could, and don't even go 100%, because that's actually stupid. You don't risk all your capital on one thing. Risk 30%, 40%, depending on the condition. And then take, 90% of that position when it moves up, and then keep yourself in the trade. And then let the rest ride. Who cares if it goes to zero? At least you made money, right? And here we go, guys. We're testing 10,000, getting close. We're live, getting close to that fib cluster area, and this is really where I think this thing probably hits a roadblock. Okay, right here, right in here, 78.6 and the 261.8. That's where the roadblock happens, right? Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Getting close. Hitting a lot of stops. There's a lot of stop losses. Let's see what